One of the most problematic things that I see in the media all the time is this depiction that like men are terrified of marriage, or that like their wife is a ball and chain, or like they're being dragged towards the aisle. Like, why do that? Like, why create this divide where it's like the women are super excited to get married, but then the men are terrified?
Hell no, to the no, 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 hell to the no.
If your husband is really that scared to get married to you, dump him.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
If your husband is really that scared to get married to you, don't.
So my uncle around 20 years ago was divorced. He fell madly in love with this woman that he was with, and they had 3 children together. And he would put in regularly 100-hour work weeks because he worked 3 separate jobs trying to support that family. And he found out one day that she was cheating on him through a coworker of his. And she found out that he found out and filed for divorce. And he had to live in his car for about 5 years, still paying the mortgage for the house that he's not living in, and paying child support for those 3 children that he only got to see when they turned 18. It's that sort of shit, though, why I'm terrified of marriage, because I would have lost my life over that sort of ordeal, honestly. But dude, just dump him, queen. Dump him. His feelings.
Sweetheart, we're married.
Consider that a divorce.
Jonah Hill's ex-girlfriend, Sarah Brady, is now labeling the famous actor a misogynist, a emotional abuser. Now, I want you guys to read these texts, and we're gonna have a professional therapist break it down.
Hill was using therapy speak to control his girlfriend Sarah, his now ex-girlfriend, and it's important that we go over this misuse of therapy language, which is kind of a thing these days, and how it can be super problematic as it masks controlling behavior under a commonly accepted positive concept, in this case, boundaries, making it harder for the person on the receiving end, Sarah, to challenge it. Okay, so Jonah is basically telling his professional surfer girlfriend, I am not going to be with you if you surf with men, have boundaryless friendships with men, model, post pictures in a bathing suit, or post suggestive pictures, and are friends with women who are in unstable places. He goes on to say that these are my boundaries for a romantic relationship. Jonah's use of the term boundaries in this message is a misuse of the concept. A boundary is a healthy limit a person sets for themselves to protect their well-being and integrity. It is a rule or guideline that one creates to identify reasonable, safe, and permissible ways for others to behave towards them and how they'll respond when someone passes those limits. However, in the message Jonah sent to Sarah, he is not setting boundaries that protect his emotional well-being. Instead, he is dictating what behaviors and friendships Sarah is permitted to have. He's essentially instructing Sarah on who she can be friends with, what she can do professionally, and how she can show up online. This is not an example of healthy boundary setting. Instead, it reflects an attempt at control. It demonstrates a lack of respect for Sarah's autonomy and individuality.
I just can't find myself to trust this guy. He looks like he plays for the other team. Like, you just can't trust a guy that looks like he pees sitting down. Now, this is not abuse. That's a man asking his girl to compromise for the sake of the relationship. Jonah Hill is being an adult, and the girl is being a child. Now, don't you guys think it's unprofessional for a therapist to speak about someone they never met and never had any sessions with? Lack of ethics from an internet therapist. Now, whenever you guys hear a girl say the word misogynist, most of the time they have no idea what they're talking about.
Define misogyny for me.
Damn, yeah, you got me.
Okay, so meanwhile.
And this comment was absolutely gold. He says, as a misogynist, what Jonah Hill did was completely innocent. He just set boundaries, and we don't claim him.
This is a certified hood classic.
To this day! To this day!
Happy about marriages making people sick. Literally, there's a brand new study showing single people have lower blood pressure and healthier hearts than many married folks. Mark Rudolph says, I told you so. Lise Wheel says, Mark is heartless. Mark, what do you think of this?
Neil, newsflash. Marriage is sickening. A bad marriage leads to bad health, and most marriages are unhappy and therefore unhealthy. Look, you had Governors Spitzer, Governors Patterson, Governors McGreevey. They're all public examples of private misery. Let's look at the facts. 50% divorce rate. We have more than 60% of women cheating on their husbands. More than 80% of women say in an AOL poll that if they were to marry their husbands again, they wouldn't do it. Either they wouldn't do it or they probably wouldn't do it. So if we just look at the state of marriage, it gives you an ulcer.
Mark bleepin' Rudolph is dropping some serious knowledge, and it's just flying over this woman's head. This man is clearly informed and very well aware about the social issues that are designed to completely destroy men and their families. Anyone else picking up that this woman is actually getting turned on by this man's confidence?
I'm married. That's what's relevant to me.
That's what's relevant to you?
Yeah.
When did you get married?
Approximately 3.5 years ago, almost 4 years ago.
What would you rate me on a scale from 1 to 10?
Like hotness?
Everything, overall.
Overall, hold on. He's a 10.
Can I get a kiss on the cheek?
From the looks of it, it looks like somebody is about to get a divorce soon. Because, according to the book of the butt cheek spreading, Lava-lusion, the book of the ass collapolations, it states, when a girl gets married and she gets a ring, it does not mean a damn thing, because that ring does not plug her holes from getting penetrated by ding-galings.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
If we just look at the state of marriage, it gives you an ulcer.
Well, maybe they were all miserable responding to these polls, but what do you think of that, Lee?
Well, Mark, first of all, maybe the women in relationships with you are sick, and certainly they would have higher blood pressure, but studies have shown, Mark, other than your relationships, that actually the happiest people, the healthiest people in our society are married men and single women. And why is that? Because the married men, they eat more veggies, the wives watch their drinking, the wives watch their smoking, they're happier and healthier, but the single women are happier and healthier than many, many married women because they don't have to be running around the husband and the kids doing all those things to keep him healthy.
Wait a minute. Who says the married men are eating the vegetables?
Well, I don't know about your household.
Not everything's quite accurate there, but go ahead, Mark.
I love how the first words that comes out of this woman's mouth is a personal attack. So right off the bat, it is very difficult for me to take this woman seriously. Mark bleepin' Rudolph knows how to get women to show their true colors in a hurry.
First of all, Lise, thanks for the personal attacks. My life is fine, but I'll tell you what happened. A couple of segments ago, you asked me to imagine being married to you.
Mark, for just imagine, for one horrific split second that we were married, wouldn't you want to be doing some chores to make me happy, Mark, just because you liked me and wanted to make me happy, Mark?
First of all, Lisey Poo, I don't know if it's possible to make you happy, but if we were married, there would be a lot of sex and you'd be taking out the garbage. You'd be loving every minute of it.
I don't think...
You asked me to imagine being married to you. And ever since then, I've been hooked on Tums. So I think that's really where the sickness came in.
You said Tums, not...
I said Tums. T-U-M-S, Lise. Now, here's the thing. You know, comparing, you know, here's what I would say. Marriage is to health what the lottery ticket is to wealth. And every day a husband wakes up, he scratches his ticket, and he says, lost again.
Man, oh, man.
Mark, look, the facts are heard this? That marriage, the divorce rate is down. It's the lowest it's been since 1970.
No, it is. It's 48%. And guess what? The number of households in the United States being led by a married person is below 50% for the first time.
You know
Fewer
what?
people are getting married.
What the great thing about that is that women who used to not have any economic dependence or independence at all couldn't get out of bad marriages, unhealthy marriages, sick marriages. Now, because they have economic independence, they can, Mark.
All right, we got
Logic is a woman's kryptonite.
The divorce rate is down.
The reason why the divorce rates are going down, because a lot of men are not getting married, because a lot of them have their cheek-slaying shotgun awakened. Because in the ancient cheek-slaying scriptures, there's a Japanese proverbs that goes like this. The bride cries on her wedding day, and the groom cries every single day after the wedding day. Because marriage is a slow, painful death for men. And this guy knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I met my wife in kindergarten. We got married senior year, and she has been the queen of my world ever since.
But what if you could do it all over again?
I would jerk off and live by myself. That woman is the bane of my existence.
The facts speak for themselves.
Mark, I'm giving you the facts. The lowest divorce rate
we're getting nowhere arguing. It's Easter. It's Easter.
Happy Good Friday.
Yes.
Everybody has his cross to bear.
Incredible.
This is Easter, Mark. How can you be doing that?
Right.
Happy Easter, Mark.
There's this old saying, if you like clapping cheeks, shaking the sheets, and doing some indoor Olympics, don't get married. But if you do, please take Mr. Cat Williams' dating advice into consideration.
Single, you should be fucking every chance you get. Just in case, you never know. And if you in a relationship, do more fucking. And women, I'm not talking to y'all. I know y'all are always ready. Talking to men. We only want to give her perfect dick. No, give her all the dicks. Give her happy dick, sad dick, angry dick. She loves angry dick. I don't know what done got in them. But this is finally what I've been talking about right here.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.